Hi everybody, it is Marissa, MKissa Creations, and it's been a month since I filmed a regular Flosstube video. I don't know if you were able to catch up with me 2 weeks ago when I filmed my whip parade, but I am now back to catch you up on everything that I've been working on over the last month. So let's get going. Welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you are returning. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Marissa. This is MKissa Creations. This is a Flosstube channel, which is a channel primarily about cross stitch. I am here with you on Wednesday, July 15th to chat with you about what I've been up to so far for the month of July and really for the tail end of June too. So we've got some serious catching up to do. All right. So I think we'll get started. I'll do life update throughout, which is kind of what I always do. I will say summer has been summering and we have been quite busy and it has been quite warm, which is great. I am enjoying the summer sun. I am not enjoying the stickiness that exists today, but I think it's supposed to be like a little bit cooler. We had some fun thunderstorms last night, which was great. And I've been stitching. I've been working and I've been stitching, and then I've been beaching, and I've been doing all of the summer things and adjusting to summer schedules, which seems to take all summer and then it changes and we go back to the school year. So here we are. Okay. Big thing is I had been up until June. I had finished a cross stitch project every month of the year so far, and I finished one in June too. So I did finish the small that I was working on. This is from the Fresh from the Garden pattern. It is the little needle book that exists, and it's done. I completed this at the end of June, got it all done, and was able to say now that I have finished a project every month so far this year. I still don't have one for July, but here's my June, and I knocked this off of my year of whips list as well, so that was really exciting. And if you noticed 2 weeks ago, it was not in my whip parade because it had already been finished, and yeah, it's really exciting. Happy to have another one crossed off the list. I have not started a new one yet to replace it, so I think I might try to get one more finish in before I add a new whip. But there are a lot of patterns that are very tempting right now, and but I am resisting temptation. I shall resist temptation, hopefully for a little while longer. All right, so we have a finish. That was exciting. And then I worked on Tiki Beach Sunset. There is a Instagrammer and a Flosstuber who was picking up Aimee Stewart patterns for hair that is like tickling my face. Okay. And probably so annoying that you can see it too. Anyways, there's a Flosstuber and an Instagrammer that is picking up Aimee Stewart patterns this summer, and so I used that as a wonderful excuse to get some stitches into Tiki Beach Sunset. And if I have a picture of where I started it before this rotation, I will put it in here. My phone decided that it was just gonna all of a sudden tell me that it was out of memory and that my iCloud storage was out of memory. I don't really know what happened. I had major memory issues last week, technology issues, or the week that I was filming my whip parade, and so I deleted a lot of stuff, and I'm hoping that I didn't delete any important tracking stuff, but if I did, please forgive me and we'll get back to it. But if I have the picture, this is where it was when I started it for this rotation, and I was able to over 4 days put in 2,337 stitches. So this is where it is at. I worked in this area here, and a couple of milestones crossed in that 2,337 stitches. I think I went up a percentage mark, so the project is now at 18.45% complete, and I passed the 15,000 stitch mark for the year. So I am at 16,833 stitches so far this year, and we are going strong on that. So this will get picked up again. I'm not quite sure if it's gonna be the next one I stitch on during my full coverage rotation or not. So for a full coverage rotation for me, I kind of just pick whatever I would like to work on, and then I pick it up and make sure I get at least 1,000 stitches in it. I've said it many times, but I have a lot of new followers, so I'm going to sort of explain how I stitch full coverage again. When I stitch full coverage, I kind of go through Pattern Keeper and start highlighting stitches that I am missing that are in a more filled in area. So any ninja stitches or anything like that. So next time I will probably, there's like one little stitch missing right here. I'll look for that stitch and see where I can stitch that out to, and then I will. So you'll notice I don't have any hanging threads because I don't park. I just finish out the thread and then put it back on the bobbin if there's not anything I can easily count to that I trust myself with. I don't use gridded fabric. This is just a 25 count lugana. And then I go to the next color and I try to stitch that. I try to stay sort of within the page, but if I have the floss going and it makes sense, I will carry it out down past the page. Like I think this page, it ends like up in here, and then down through here maybe. So there is stitching past the page, which does make it nice when you pick up for the next page. There's already some stitches filled into it, but I absolutely love this project. This is Tiki Beach Sunset. The artwork is by Aimee Stewart. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is the like regular size, regular colors. So no mini, no max colors on this one, just the regular. There are some spots where I kind of wish that I had picked up the max colors, but I find that I'm seeing what I want to see pretty well and not having any issues with it. I only have one max color chart going, and it is another Aimee Stewart. I have not picked that up quite yet this summer, but I will. But yeah, that's where Tiki Beach Sunset is. Okay, and then I picked up Snug as a Bug. And again, same caveat with the pictures if they're there. This is by Clouds Factory. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And then if I have a picture of where it was. So from the last time you saw this in a regular Flosstube video, I finished the ladybug here and started on this beetle over here. This is just about at the 50% mark. I think it's like 46% done. And I love how that ladybug looks. And amazing color work. Did not take very many colors to make it look like that. And it looks so great. He's a sweet little bug, isn't he? Okie dokie. And I'm going fast because I feel like I have a lot to show you, but maybe I don't. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, after stitching on Snug as a Bug, I said in my whip parade that I was going to do a little bit of Christmas in July. So I started getting out some Christmas projects. I started with Mary 2. This is from Plum Street Samplers. Here's what it will look like when it's done. And here's what it looked like at my whip parade. And here is what it looks like now. Oh, I guess it would help if I took a needle marker out. Okay. Now, I am a little worried about the white in here. We'll see how ghosty it is. Okay, so I worked and got in all of this plant work up here. There is a counting error in there. I decided to fudge rather than frog, but this is what I'm worried about right here. So Santa's beard, you can see because it has the black around it, but there's gonna be a snowman down there in the corner. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do about that just yet. I might need to switch to 2 strands just to see if I can get it to pop a little bit more. I'm gonna fill it in a little bit and see what it looks like, and then we'll go from there. But I feel like I got a decent amount of progress in here. Yeah, my little goth Santa, he's doing great. It was really fun to get this out. I'm not sure I'm done with it yet. I think I'm going to keep doing some Christmas in July. And this is not the only Christmas in July I've worked on. I'll show you a little bit more, but I did take a little break for some 4th of July stitching. But yeah, this is where we are at with Mary 2. So we've got a little bit more greenery to put in, I think, up here, and a sleigh to get in there. And the sleigh is big. It's gonna take a lot, and the snowman is big, and it's gonna take a lot, but we're getting there. And I think this one could be on track for a finish for the end of the year. I think it's in my year of whips too, so I think it will be kind of a focus for a finish. This is on, I believe, a 32 count Wichelt, though it is kind of tight because I have another project on it and I'm stitching it with 2 strands, and it's very full, not too full, but and it's very stiff also. You can see there's not like a lot of wiggle to that. So that is where Mary 2 is at. I do love me some Plum Street samplers. I feel like today's Flosstube video is definitely got a lot of variety in it. Yeah, and a lot of projects. I worked on a lot. All right, my next project, this was my 4th of July stitching. I worked on One Nation from ByGone Stitches. This is what that will look like when it is finished. And I actually did more than I was expecting to on this. I kind of got into a groove and I was really enjoying it. It was, at the moment, a very hopeful piece as far as like, you know, thinking about us all being one nation together. It's been a rough couple days here in Maine. If you watch the news, you know that is just down the street from my house where we are in the news for. So that's been a little bit on the rough side, but I did work on this piece. So here's where it was when you saw it in my annual whip parade, and here is where it is now. So I was able to finish, what was I working on? Oh, I had Connecticut partially done. So I finished Connecticut and then added 3 more states. And then I added 4 stars into the field of stars, the little quilty stars. This is on a fabric that, so it's the fabric that my All Things Wise and Wonderful and Consider the Lilies are on, but it is overdyed with some tan rit. It took the dye kind of into like a, almost like a Red Rocks kind of color. But I do like how it looks, and it is, I mean, it's really letting the white pop on it. And the white that I am using is 3866. And then the red and the blue are from an old Victorian Motto sampler offering that she did, and it's from Sea to Shining Sea and America the Beautiful. So these are the colors. So the Sea to Shining Sea is DMC 312, and then the America the Beautiful is a DMC 315, or I'm sorry, 815, 816. So that is what those are looking like. And I'm not seeing too much variegation in the blue, though I know it is there. It's not like super variegated or variated, but the red does show it a little more. I'm not sure if you can really kind of tell in this, but I can tell in person, and I really am enjoying it. And I really am liking the 3866 for the white. So sort of wanted it to look a little bit rustic, and I think that I have established that and am enjoying how that is looking. That won't be coming back out for a little while. Not quite sure when we'll see that one again, but it got its time for the year. Part of what I shared in my whip parade is that my goal for the last 2 years has been to touch every single one of my whips. And so in this video, you're actually seeing 4 whips that I had not touched yet this year that pushed me well over the 50% mark, which is exciting because we are over 50% through the year. So Mary 2 was one of them, and One Nation was one of them, and I will show you 2 more that are part of it, and then I will show you another whip as well. All right, next I picked up Christmas Rules from Lizzie Kate. This is the other one that's on this fabric, and I am stitching this in a DMC conversion that I made. The DMC conversion listed on the project cards, which this is a collection of, I think, 6 different project cards, and then a free border offered on her website. The greens were not, that were, excuse me, the greens that were offered up as the DMC conversion, I did not care for. So I picked my own. I will put those down below. And then I actually had on hand from something else, the Weeks Dye Works that was called for the tree. So here's where this was at in my annual whip parade. And then here is what the top border looks like, and it is completely done. So next I will start moving down into the cards that need to, or the different rules that need to be added. So the border and the instructions on how to lay out all the cards is available on her website for free. So this top little part, and then you have to purchase the stuff for down below. And then it tells you, like, each rule is like bordered differently on the cards that you get, the pattern cards, versus what it says to do on the instruction sheet that comes with this top border. But anyways, here's the top border. I will put my floss colors in the drop down list below if they are not already there. They might not be, because I don't think I haven't worked on this all that much, but this feels like a great start, and it feels like a great addition to some progress for this year, and I'm pretty happy with that. All right, one more Christmas. And then I think I have like 2 lingering Christmas patterns. I know I have another Plum Street, what is it called? It's the Santa on the ship, and it's a drum. I have him, and then I feel like there must be one more like hanging out somewhere, but maybe it's just my Thanksgiving stuff that I'm thinking of. I'm not sure, but I picked up my Christmas list from Silver Creek Samplers. So here's what this one will look like when it's complete. This is being stitched on a 32 count Wren from Picture This Plus, and here is what it looked like at my whip parade, and I'll show you what it looks like now and tell you what I added. So here's what it looks like now. So I added the word mistletoe and then all the mistletoe. And that is the same dark green. It's Weeks Dye Works Juniper. It's living in my Christmas bag, and I stole it out for this project and for the Christmas rules. And I think I have another skein of it like laying around somewhere. But yeah, it's looking good. I really am enjoying that one. I realized when I picked it up that I had finished the whole first page of that pattern. So now there's only like 1.5 pages left, which felt really good and felt like doable. Making sure you touch your making sure you touch your pieces like really makes a big difference in the world of cross stitching. All right, and now I have one more full coverage to show you. I picked up again What Lies Beneath. My friend Marissa, who watches my channel, she's another Marissa. We twin in a lot of ways, not just our name, and she has always really liked this pattern, and she purchased it finally after me showing it quite a few times. The artwork is by David Lazo. It is charted by Unconventional X Stitch. She has been retiring a couple of his charts. This one was not on the list, but just as a heads up, if this is something that you're like super into, I would definitely consider keeping an eye out when she announces retirements, or just purchasing this and sticking it in like a Dropbox or a file folder. I picked this up. I worked on it for 3 days. I worked with one color, and I think I've actually done this before with this project, and it will probably happen again, although the color will change as we move up in the project, because like as you can see, it's very dark on the bottom and then it gets lighter when you move to the top, and so there's the opportunity to flip-flop those colors. The two main colors, 939, and then I can't think of what the other one is, they both started the project with over 20,000 stitches, and the project itself I think only has like 115,000. So with both of those taking up so much space, it really like makes a difference when you get these like big bulk stitches in. So I stitched 1,729 stitches of just 939, which is like a navy blue. I'll put up a picture here of where this was the last time you saw it, tucking in some stray strings. All right, and here it is now. So I worked a lot in this area here, bringing up all of that 939. This is the total width of the project as you see it here. That is the end, that is the end, and here's the bottom. So it is moving along nicely, really starting to see that anchor fill in. I've got another big skull that I'm looking forward to stitching, and it just is amazing. So on this project, I did also hit a milestone. I hit the 10,000 stitch mark for the year. It is now at 10,090 stitches for the year. I am at 13.46 stitches, or 13.46% complete. I would really like to have this at in between the 20 and 25% mark by the end of the year. And I think that's doable just because of how much I like it, how few color changes, how I can really get in some bulk stitching. Like you can really get in like a huge chunks of bulk colors, and it doesn't take as long because you're not changing your thread out as much, you're not switching, you're not digging through your stuff, it's just like big strands of the color that you're working on. So it was 939. But yeah, I just absolutely love this project, and I want it on my wall so badly that I think even though I've really been enjoying Tiki Beach Sunset, I think this is really going to be my full coverage focus for this year, saying that I want to get it to that 20-25% mark. It just really feeling that, I'm really feeling that pull, but plans change. I am notorious for that. And again, I will say my only plan this year is to touch all of my whips. I think now that I have finished that 6th project, I only have one more that I will need to stitch to get my year of whips folder for soulful stitching more than halfway complete. So I've met that goal. I really would like to continue getting a finish every month for this year to be able to finish the year with 12 finishes. I am closer than that if you count models that I've stitched for myself. But as of right now, I'm not counting those. I might, if I need to like tweak it by the end of the year. But if I can pace myself with a finish a month, I think that is really something that I will be able to be proud of at the end of this year. I am trying to finish off a mixture of large pieces and small pieces as well, and really just trying to get work into those. I am trying to figure out what my plans are for the rest of this month. I believe that I'm going to continue with my Christmas in July because I am enjoying it, and I still have at least one more Christmas piece that I need to work on a bit, and so we will work on that. And I think I will also work on the Silver Creek Samplers, my Christmas list. I think I will also work on Mary 2 a little bit more, just so I can figure out what I want to do about the snowman and see if he really can stand out with the one strand that I have been stitching with on that project, or if he needs to be bulked up a little bit. I'm also might experiment with just doing a second strand over the top leg and see if that does it for him. But we will see with that. I would like to work on What Lies Beneath some more. I also plan to pull out Fish and Ships. I think that is like the medium-sized project that I would really like to get done. Now that I have added 4 more touches of like out of my 29 whips that I started the year with, I have added 4 more touches, brought myself over the 50% mark. I am not going to pressure myself, other than the one more Christmas in July that I need to stitch on, to touch any of my older whips this month. I am going to stitch what I would like to stitch with those other lingering projects, even if they are ones that I've already touched this year. So it could be Snug as a Bug. I really would like to pull out Fish and Ships again. I've kind of been staring at it a little bit. It's been in, you know, in my headspace. It is out of like, in my stitchy spot, I have like a stitchy stuff that I want to work on, or that I am working on, that's like in the living room. And then I have a storage box in my craft room that has the projects that I am not currently yearning for, reaching to, whatever. It was really nice to get them out for my whip parade, my mid-year whip parade, and like see those and touch those. And so it did, like I said, it inspired me to do the Christmas in July because I really wanted to get some of those projects done. So they're still living in there, but Fish and Ships has been out since I talked about it like maybe 3 or 4 videos ago, and it is waiting patiently, but it is calling from the project box that lives in the living room. So I imagine we will be seeing that sometime soon. Other than that, I think I'm also going to do a planner video. I had Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher, she reached out and was like, hey, can you send me some pictures of your planner? And I would love to send her pictures of my planner. I have not done that yet because life has, like I said, been lifing. I've been working a lot and I've been tired when I've been home, and stitching is either stitching or it's not. I've been kind of ignoring the social media aspect of life lately, which I'm sorry if you messaged me and it took me like 3 to 5 days to get back to you. My Instagram messages have not been a priority right now, just because of all of the other like noise that comes with logging into Instagram. So but so she asked me to do that, and I was like, you know what, this would make a good video, I think, for those of you that may be wanting to set up a planner. I will share a little bit about my personality. I love planners, I love notebooks, I love blank notebooks, and I've always been kind of afraid to start them. You know, you have this beloved planner that you purchased, or this beloved notebook, you really like the pattern, you don't know what to put in it, you don't know how to organize it. Should you be organizing the whole thing for like a year out? How many pages should you leave between stuff? This planner, my stitch notebook, has just kind of become its own thing, and I've really let it go. I have not been like, oh well, I started with all of these ideas and they're just kind of abandoned. I will show you those. I will show you my abandoned ideas in the front of that notebook. I will show you the messy pages that just have a wrinkling on them, but I'll also show you how I carry my whips from year to year. I'll show you how I set up my full coverage pages that are in there, and I think we'll kind of just chat about that a little bit. We can do sort of like a face down or a camera down video on what my stitchy notebook looks like. And then I'll also show you a little bit of how I carry over to my Flosstube notes for each week. I feel like we spend so much time on screens. I still love writing stuff down. I still love all of my beloved notebooks. There are still plenty that don't have any writing in them at all because I don't know what the theme of that notebook is going to be yet. But with my stitchy notebook, I have like grown as a human as far as my eccentricities about making sure that everything is either perfect or that I, don't have a messed up page or that things don't look the way I wanted them to look. I think that's important for us to just kind of to go. Everything's not going to be perfect. And I think it's also important to show that on social media, on YouTube. Everything's not just gorgeous. You look up a planner video these days, holy cow. I mean, and I was watching them back in the day, like when Erin Condren planners first like blew up. I had one and I wanted to do the stickers and all the things and make each day. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. I have too much to do. I cannot do that. That cannot be my life. I have accepted that. Did I waste probably $50 accepting that? Yes, I think I did, but maybe a little bit more. But I think that there's something to be said about artistic imperfection, and I'm ready to open up and share that with you all. So I'm hoping to post that sometime in the next week. I hope you will come check it out. I would love to hear from you if there is anything else about stitchy organization that you are really looking for or that you want to hear about from somebody that has been doing this for a little while. I have been stitching since 2015. My organization has changed quite a bit, but I am a pen and paper organizer, and it's functional. It's aesthetically pleasing to me. It doesn't involve purchasing anything, really. It just involves a notebook. And it's a notebook that will last you more than 1 year, which I also think is important now, is that we consume so much. PSA, little soapbox, we consume so much. And as stitchers, we use a lot of what we consume, but there is a lot of stuff that we consume that just kind of goes to the wayside. And for me, if I buy a yearly planner and I use it for 2 months, that makes me sad at the end of the year when all the other new planners are coming out and I see the shiny things and I want the shiny things. And we will talk about this more. I will repeat myself when I do my planner video. But this way, with the single book that I carry from year to year and use probably, I have to count. I mean, in the beginning I was using maybe like 3 pages a year. Now I'm up to maybe 10 to 15 pages a year on the way that my planner is set up. I'm not feeling bad at the end of the year, even if I didn't keep up with it. Even if I fell off of the face of the planet with stitching at the end of the year and didn't want to track anything and was not doing anything, I can turn those 15 pages and continue on. And I think that learning to do that is important now. Anyways, that was a lot. Like I said, it'll all get repeated again. You'll hear it. I will hopefully organize my thoughts a little bit better when we talk about it as far as planning goes. But I am so grateful for all of you. Thank you for being here. If you are new, which I think there's kind of quite a bit of you, I am so happy to have you here. Let me know what you're looking for and what you think about planning, cross-stitch planning. I am curious. I want to make sure I answer everyone's questions so that we're not like doing another planner video really close to the first one. I think it would be nice to be able to just have it all nice and wrapped up in one little package. But I will see you next time for a planner video. I will see you again for a Flosstube video. And if you're waiting on giveaways from me, I swear they're coming. But the post office has not been in my the circle of fun that I've been having. So I will get them to you, and I appreciate you and your patience, and thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.